In 2025, the armed forces of the Philippines quietly sent a powerful message to the world, not through press releases or military parades, but through performance. Across 2 continents and in 2 of the most demanding military competitions on the planet, Filipino soldiers demonstrated that skill, discipline, and professionalism are not limited by geography, budget size, or equipment age. They are forged through training, mindset, and relentless commitment to excellence. This year marked a turning point in how the international military community views the Philippines. From the unforgiving landscapes of the United Kingdom to the pressure-filled firing lines of Singapore, Filipino troops stood shoulder to shoulder with elite units from the world's most capable armed forces, and they did not falter. Today's story is not simply about medals or rankings. It is about what those achievements represent. It is about the Philippine Marine Corps earning a bronze medal at the legendary Cambrian Patrol Exercise 2025, widely regarded as the ultimate test of small unit endurance and tactical competence. And it is about the Philippine Army's outstanding showing at the 33rd Asian Army Rifle Meet in Singapore, where precision, discipline, and mental control define success. Together, these accomplishments reveal a deeper truth. The Philippines is steadily building a force that can operate, compete, and excel on the global stage. To understand the weight of these achievements, we must first look at the battleground that tested the Philippine Marine Corps to its limits, the Cambrian Patrol. Among professional soldiers, the Cambrian Patrol exercise is spoken of with a mix of respect and dread. Held annually in Wales, United Kingdom, this competition is often described as the Olympics of military patrolling. But unlike sporting events, Cambrian Patrol offers no spectacle for crowds. There are no cheering fans, no podium celebrations in front of cameras, and no margin for error. Instead, there is exhaustion, there is cold rain, there is mud that clings to every step. There are long hours of movement under load, minimal sleep, and constant evaluation by experienced military observers. Cambrian Patrol is not about speed alone. It is not about brute strength. It is about judgment under pressure, teamwork under fatigue, and leadership when conditions are at their worst. Only the most disciplined and well-trained units are invited to participate. Every year, elite formations from NATO members and partner nations send their best patrol teams. These include airborne units, special operations forces, marine commandos, and reconnaissance elements, units whose daily work already demands the highest standards. In 2025, the Philippine Marine Corps accepted this challenge. Representing the country was the Force Reconnaissance Regiment of the Philippine Marine Corps, an elite formation trained for deep reconnaissance, amphibious operations, and special missions behind enemy lines. These Marines are not ordinary infantry. They are selected, trained, and conditioned for missions where failure is not an option. Their journey to Cambrian Patrol was not accidental. It was the result of years of institutional development within the Marine Corps, improvements in leadership training, physical conditioning, small unit tactics, and mission planning. Long before setting foot in Wales, these Marines had already endured countless field exercises, live fire drills, and reconnaissance missions in the Philippines' own demanding terrain. Still, nothing fully prepares a unit for Cambrian Patrol. The Welsh training areas are infamous. Steep hills, dense vegetation, unpredictable weather, and marshlands combine to punish even experienced soldiers. The environment alone becomes an adversary, one that never rests. To appreciate the Philippine Marines' achievement, one must understand what a patrol team faces during the exercise. Each team operates as a small, self-contained unit, tasked with a series of tactical missions over several days. These include reconnaissance tasks, ambush drills, casualty evacuation scenarios, navigation challenges, and command and control evaluations. Every action is assessed by professional military observers, many of whom are combat veterans themselves. There are no shortcuts. Teams must plan their movements carefully, manage limited supplies, maintain security at all times, and make sound decisions despite exhaustion. A single mistake, poor navigation, weak communication, or a breakdown in teamwork can cost a team its chance at a medal. Sleep deprivation is constant. Physical fatigue accumulates rapidly. Mental strain intensifies as missions stack on top of one another. Cambrian Patrol is designed to strip soldiers down to their fundamentals: leadership, discipline, initiative, and cohesion. And in 2025, the Philippine Marines proved they possessed all 4. In October 2025, after days of relentless patrolling and continuous evaluation, the Force Reconnaissance Regiment achieved what many once thought improbable. They earned a bronze medal at Cambrian Patrol. This result placed them among the top-performing patrol teams in the entire exercise, outperforming or matching units from far more resourced militaries. It was not a symbolic award. It was not a participation medal. It was a performance-based recognition earned under the same standards applied to every competing force. For the Philippine Marine Corps, this bronze medal carried enormous meaning. It validated years of hard training conducted far from international headlines. It confirmed that Filipino Marines can operate at the same tactical and professional level as elite Western and Allied units. And it sent a clear message to military planners and observers worldwide. The Philippines is not just learning, it is competing. The significance of the Cambrian Patrol bronze goes beyond rankings. It reflects a cultural shift within the armed forces of the Philippines, one that prioritizes competence, interoperability, and professional soldiering. For decades, the AFP focused primarily on internal security operations. While that experience produced battle-hardened troops, international exposure remained limited. Exercises like Cambrian Patrol bridge that gap. They expose Filipino units to global standards, modern evaluation methods, and multinational operational environments. By succeeding in such a demanding setting, the Philippine Marine Corps demonstrated adaptability. Their tactics, communication, and leadership held up under scrutiny from some of the most experienced evaluators in the world. This success also boosts confidence within the ranks. Young Marines now see tangible proof that excellence is achievable, not just locally but globally. It reinforces the idea that discipline and preparation can overcome material limitations. On a strategic level, performances like this strengthen the Philippines' credibility as a defense partner. Allies and partners look not only at equipment inventories but at the quality of personnel. Well-trained soldiers who can operate under stress are the foundation of effective coalitions. The Cambrian Patrol result supports the Philippines' broader push for interoperability with allied forces. It shows that Filipino units can integrate into multinational environments, follow common standards, and execute complex missions alongside foreign counterparts. In an era of evolving regional security challenges, these qualities matter. The bronze medal at Cambrian Patrol 2025 is not an endpoint. It is a signal of momentum. As the armed forces of the Philippines continues its modernization program, upgrading platforms, systems, and capabilities, the human element remains its strongest asset. Equipment can be acquired, but discipline, resilience, and tactical judgment must be cultivated over time. The Philippine Marine Corps' performance in Wales proves that this cultivation is already bearing fruit. And while the Marines were testing themselves in the hills of the United Kingdom, another group of Filipino soldiers was preparing to prove their excellence in a very different arena, one where precision replaces endurance, and milliseconds can separate victory from defeat. That story begins in Singapore. While the Philippine Marine Corps was being tested by rain, mud, and exhaustion in the rugged training areas of Wales, another elite group of Filipino soldiers was preparing for a very different kind of battlefield. One defined not by distance marched, but by millimeters, breathing control, and mental discipline. In November 2025, the spotlight shifted to Singapore, where the 33rd Asian Army Rifle Meet, commonly known as AARM, brought together the best military marksmen from across Asia. This competition is one of the most respected shooting events in the region, designed not for sport alone, but to measure combat-relevant marksmanship skills under strict military standards. For the Philippine Army, AARM 2025 was more than an annual obligation. It was an opportunity to demonstrate how far its training systems, doctrine, and soldier development had evolved. At first glance, a rifle meet might appear straightforward. Targets, weapons, scores. But AARM is far more complex than a typical marksmanship contest. This annual event gathers elite shooters from Asian armies, many of which operate under vastly different doctrines, equipment types, and training philosophies. Despite these differences, all competitors are evaluated under standardized conditions, ensuring fairness and rigor. AARM tests not only technical shooting ability, but also composure, discipline, and adaptability. Participants must perform under time pressure, in unfamiliar environments, and while adhering to strict safety and procedural standards. In modern warfare, marksmanship remains a foundational skill. Whether in urban combat, jungle operations, or counterterrorism missions, a soldier's ability to accurately engage targets under stress can decide outcomes. AARM exists to sharpen and validate that capability at the highest level. From November 18 to 28, 2025, Singapore hosted the 33rd Asian Army Rifle Meet. Known for its world-class military facilities and disciplined training culture, Singapore provided an environment where even small errors were magnified. The competition included multiple categories designed to test different aspects of combat shooting, including rifle events, carbine engagements, pistol shooting, machine gun accuracy and control, sniper, and precision shooting drills. Each category demanded a unique balance of physical control, technical mastery, and psychological focus. Shooters were required to transition between weapons, firing positions, and engagement distances while maintaining consistency. For the Philippine Army Shooting Contingent, often referred to as PASCON, this meant months of intensive preparation before even setting foot on the firing line. PASCON represents the very best marksmen the Philippine Army has to offer. These soldiers are carefully selected based on performance, discipline, and potential. They come from units where shooting proficiency is not optional but essential. Preparation for AARM begins long before the competition. Training cycles focus on refining fundamentals such as trigger control, sight alignment, breathing techniques, and firing position stability. But technical skills alone are not enough. Mental conditioning plays a crucial role. Shooters must learn to perform consistently under observation, pressure, and fatigue. Every shot is recorded. Every error is visible. The ability to recover quickly from a mistake often separates top performers from the rest. In 2025, PASCON arrived in Singapore not as underdogs, but as serious competitors. One often overlooked aspect of military shooting competitions is the support structure behind the firing line. For the Philippine Army, PASCON's performance was strengthened by backing from the medical, scientific, and athletic services, as well as the Philippine Sports Commission. This support reflected a modern approach to soldier performance. Physical conditioning, injury prevention, nutrition, and recovery were treated as integral components of marksmanship. A steady hand depends on a healthy body, and a focused mind relies on proper conditioning. By integrating sports science into military training, the Philippine Army demonstrated that it understands the evolving nature of soldier development, where endurance, precision, and mental resilience intersect. As the competition unfolded, the Philippine Army Shooting Contingent began earning recognition for its consistency and professionalism. During the early stages of AARM 2025, PASCON secured multiple awards and commendations, marking one of its strongest performances in recent years. Judges and fellow competitors took note of the team's disciplined execution. Shots were deliberate, weapon handling was precise, transitions between drills were smooth and controlled. What stood out most was not a single spectacular moment, but sustained excellence across events. This is particularly difficult in AARM, where pressure accumulates with each round fired. The Philippine Army's shooters demonstrated that their training was not only effective, but repeatable, a key indicator of institutional maturity. Success at AARM 2025 carries implications beyond trophies or certificates. It signals that Philippine Army marksmanship training has reached a level comparable with leading regional forces. This achievement contributes directly to higher morale among soldiers and units, improved confidence in training methodologies, enhanced interoperability with regional partners, stronger professional reputation within ASEAN militaries. Marksmanship is a transferable skill. The discipline learned on the range carries over into combat readiness, safety standards, and leadership development. Moreover, participation in AARM strengthens regional military relationships. Friendly competition fosters mutual respect, trust, and understanding, essential elements in a region where security challenges increasingly require cooperation rather than isolation. The Philippine Army's success at AARM is not an isolated achievement. It reflects broader institutional reforms emphasizing professionalism, standardized training, and performance measurement. While modernization efforts often focus on equipment acquisitions, competitions like AARM highlight the importance of human capital. Rifles, optics, and ammunition matter, but they are only as effective as the soldiers who use them. By excelling in a highly technical competition, the Philippine Army demonstrated that it is investing not only in hardware, but in the skills and mindset of its personnel. AARM 2025 set a new benchmark for PASCON and for Philippine Army marksmanship as a whole. Each award earned serves as both recognition and motivation, a reminder that progress must be maintained, not assumed. Younger soldiers now have tangible proof that dedication to fundamentals can lead to international recognition. Commanders have evidence that structured training and scientific support yield measurable results. Most importantly, these achievements reinforce a culture where excellence is expected, not exceptional. When viewed together, the Philippine Marine Corps' performance at Cambrian Patrol and the Philippine Army's success at AARM tell a unified story. One tested endurance, leadership, and tactical decision-making under physical stress. The other measured precision, discipline, and mental control under intense scrutiny. Different skills, different environments. Same result, Filipino soldiers proving they belong among the best. When the results of the Cambrian Patrol exercise in the United Kingdom and the 33rd Asian Army Rifle Meet in Singapore were finally recorded, the headlines focused on medals, rankings, and awards. But those visible symbols only tell part of the story. Beneath the bronze medal and shooting commendations lies something far more important: the steady transformation of the armed forces of the Philippines into a professional, globally competitive military institution. These achievements did not occur in isolation. They are the product of years of disciplined training, institutional learning, and a growing emphasis on international standards. Together, they reflect a deeper shift within the Philippine military, one that places equal importance on character, competence, and credibility. The Cambrian Patrol and the Asian Army Rifle Meet test very different aspects of soldiering. One is a brutal endurance and leadership challenge conducted in hostile terrain. The other is a precision-based evaluation where a single mistake can erase hours of preparation. Yet despite their differences, both competitions are built on the same foundation: discipline under pressure, mastery of fundamentals, teamwork and leadership, mental resilience, professional conduct. The Philippine Marine Corps and the Philippine Army succeeded not because of luck or favorable conditions, but because they mastered these core principles. This is a critical point. Equipment can fail, weather can change, conditions can worsen, but disciplined soldiers who trust their training and their teammates can adapt and prevail. Modern military discussions often revolve around platforms, ships, aircraft, missiles, and systems. While these capabilities matter, history consistently shows that wars are ultimately decided by people. The Philippine Marine Corps' performance at Cambrian Patrol demonstrated that Filipino soldiers can operate effectively in environments far removed from their home terrain. They navigated unfamiliar ground, followed foreign evaluation standards, and executed missions under constant observation. Meanwhile, the Philippine Army's success at AARM showed that Filipino marksmen can meet, and in some cases exceed, regional standards in one of the most technically demanding military skills. Together, these performances highlight the armed forces of the Philippines' most valuable asset: its people. Professionalism is not an abstract concept. It manifests in how soldiers plan, move, communicate, and make decisions. It is visible in safety discipline, respect for procedures, and the ability to operate seamlessly with foreign counterparts. International competitions like Cambrian Patrol and AARM act as mirrors. They reflect a military's strengths and expose its weaknesses. By earning recognition in both events, the AFP demonstrated that its training systems are producing soldiers who meet global expectations. This has direct strategic implications. Allies and partners evaluate not just what a military owns, but how it performs. Credibility is built through consistency, competence, and demonstrated capability. The Philippines' recent achievements strengthen its standing as a reliable defense partner in a region where cooperation is increasingly vital. In Southeast Asia, security challenges are rarely confined to one nation. Maritime security, disaster response, counterterrorism, and regional stability require cooperation across borders. By participating and excelling in international military competitions, the Philippines reinforces its commitment to interoperability. Filipino soldiers learn to operate under shared standards, common safety protocols, and multinational command environments. The friendships and professional relationships formed during events like AARM contribute to long-term trust between armies. These bonds matter when real-world cooperation is required, whether during joint exercises or crisis response. The Armed Forces of the Philippines continues to pursue modernization programs aimed at upgrading platforms and capabilities. But modernization is not only about procurement, it is about mindset. The successes in 2025 show that modernization of training, doctrine, and performance evaluation is already underway. The integration of sports science, structured conditioning, and standardized assessment reflects a military that understands how modern soldiers are developed. A rifle in skilled hands is more valuable than advanced equipment used without discipline. The Philippine Army's marksmanship performance proves that investment in training yields tangible results. Achievements on the international stage resonate deeply within the force. For junior soldiers, these victories provide role models and motivation. They show that excellence is attainable through effort and commitment. For commanders, these results validate training methods and leadership approaches. They offer data points that can inform future doctrine, resource allocation, and personnel development. Morale is not built through slogans, it is built through achievement. Every medal earned reinforces pride, identity, and purpose within the ranks. The Armed Forces of the Philippines did not announce its progress through declarations or propaganda. It demonstrated capability through performance. In Wales, Filipino Marines endured the same hardships as elite units from around the world and earned their place among them. In Singapore, Filipino soldiers stood on the firing line alongside Asia's best and proved they belonged. This is how credibility is built, quietly, consistently, and professionally. If 2025 has shown anything, it is that the AFP's trajectory is upward. As training continues to improve and modernization efforts advance, achievements like these are likely to become more frequent. The foundation has been laid. The culture of excellence is taking root, and as more Filipino soldiers are exposed to international standards, the entire force benefits. The future of the Armed Forces of the Philippines will be shaped not only by new equipment, but by the quality of the men and women who serve. From the rain-soaked hills of Wales to the controlled precision of Singapore's firing ranges, Filipino soldiers have shown the world what dedication, discipline, and professionalism can achieve. These victories are not just milestones, they are signals. Signals that the Philippines is building a force worthy of respect. Signals that Filipino soldiers are ready to stand alongside the best. Signals that the AFP's greatest strength lies in its people. If you are proud of our Marines and soldiers, support their journey. Share this story, stay informed, and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of Philippine defense and military developments.